What's up guys, it's Will back again, and today's review is the biographical drama film Thank You For Your Service. Thank You For Your Service, written and directed by Jason Hall and based on the 2013 novel of the same name written by David Finkel, primarily follows 3 soldiers who return home from the Middle East that are dealing with PTSD and a handful of other emotional and psychological issues. These soldiers return home to their families after extended stays in Iraq, where they experience some horrific occurrences that have been imprinted in their minds and subsequently cause them to experience PTSD when engaging in other activities back at home. As the stress begins to mount, we spend the rest of the film attempting to watch these soldiers reacclimate to life back in the States while they attempt to overcome their demons that haunt them psychologically. Alright, so I didn't go into Thank You For Your Service expecting much. I thought it would be a serviceable film that advances the public dialogue about soldiers and their incredibly important service, but as a film I thought it would probably be average at best. And that's exactly what this is. This is more of an important movie than it is a good one. There's a lot of important, albeit hard to watch subject matter present in this film, and I think that greatly outweighs the quality of the experience as a whole. The subject matter and how it's presented can occasionally tend to feel more like a documentary more than a film, and that's something that most people probably won't love that much considering the price of admission. This is also a really tough film to watch as well. It doesn't pull any punches and there's very little light in it at all, and it often feels more like a call to action and like a documentary than it does an engaging drama. I say that because while there certainly is some character development present, it rarely goes beyond the surface level. The gist of that development is the soldiers return home, they have PTSD, and they feel trapped. That's about the extent of it. That can only take you so far though, because while it's definitely hard to watch and the potential for drama is there, this is a story that's been told many times before in some way, shape, or form. It sort of reminded me of Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, a similar film that came out last year that really hits most of the same beats. In other words, Thank You For Your Service very much plays out in a formulaic fashion. You've definitely seen this movie before. But with that said, just because it's predictable doesn't mean it has no value. I think as a whole it does a good job of presenting a true story about an issue that probably should receive more attention than it does in the public eye, and that's how we treat our soldiers once they've returned home, especially after traumatic experiences. I think the film does a good job showing just how difficult it can be for these soldiers to readjust when they get back home, specifically how they oftentimes have trouble getting the medical help they need. You watch the main characters go through the system and try to get the help they need, but it seems like the worse the problem gets for them, the less treatment they're able to get because of how underfunded the treatment programs as a whole are. And because of this, the characters develop over the course of the film, but not for the better. As the story progresses, you see them start to succumb further and further into despair because of their PTSD and because of the lack of treatment options. You also see how their PTSD and eventual depression affects the families of the soldiers, specifically the wives and the children who are hoping to get their beloved family member back, but in reality get a psychologically damaged version because of the failures of the US Army to provide their soldiers with the care they need to return home healthy. It's executed average, I'd say, but once again, this is very much a formulaic by-the-book soldier film that's been done many times before, and because of that, I think a lot of people, probably most people, would probably be better served just saving their money and watching it on one of the movie channels in like a year's time. There's some value here socially, there's certainly a solid story, but it often just feels too generic and often lacks significant emotional resonance beyond the premise itself. So really, this one just comes down to personal preference. It's not a bad film, but it's certainly not a great film that you need to run out and go see ASAP either. Overall, I thought it had a solid, dark, and grounded story and some nice commentary on an important social issue. Sadly, I also felt the narrative a lot of times felt very generic, the character development felt lacking, and the emotion was primarily in the premise and not much else. I'm gonna give Thank You For Your Service a 5.5 out of 10 and recommend you pass on this one in theaters and wait to watch it some other time. It's alright, but not a must-see by any means. So did you guys see Thank You For Your Service yet? What did you think of it? And if not, let me know why not. Also, let me know your favorite soldier film. Mine may just be Hacksaw Ridge. I also wanted to apologize for not wishing you guys happy Halloween. Here's a picture of my costume, Loki, from this year. I won 3rd place in my liquid costume contest, so it was a really fun costume to do. But let me know how your guys' Halloween went. Show me your photos, show me your costumes, let me know in the comments. That's all for now though. This is WillFoxification signing off. See you in the next video.